Hi y'all, so today I'm going to show you guys how to get two different really nice glowy makeup looks, and these are both going to be for beginners. My first one is going to be geared towards basically like a level 0. You're starting with nothing, no brushes, no products, really simple and minimal, but just a nice glowy look. And then the second one, I'm going to kind of step it up a little bit more into level 1 beginner. There's going to be a little bit more product, a little bit more brushes, but again, just a nice wearable glowy look. Both of these are perfect for every day, for school, for work, for anybody, any age. So let's just hop right in. So this first look is something that you might hear referred to as no makeup, but I think that is the perfect thing for a beginner because it is so minimal, but it does leave an impact. It freshens you up, makes you look more awake, more put together. But again, the products are really minimal and the brushes are very minimal. This look actually that I'm doing, you could do it all with just your hands. I just have this one buffing brush. This is from Ulta. I will put every product I use and the brush names down below. I'm starting with the e.l.f. Cooling Primer Stick, and I'm just going to buff it in with the brush just because that's my preference, but you can use your hands. And then I'm going to also use the e.l.f. Skin Bronzing Drops. I'm only using this because of my skincare, I always have a paler face than the rest of my body. So I'm going to mix this with these CoverGirl Essence Drops. I absolutely love these, and you only need one pump. Trust me, as a person who's been wearing makeup and who wears a lot of full coverage makeup, and I have been for like 10 years, you only need one pump of this. So I put a little bit of that bronzing stuff, just 4 small pea size, not even pea size, like tiny rice size drops. And then I put half a pump on each cheek of the CoverGirl Essence. And then I go and start stippling and blending that in. Again, this is an Ulta foundation buffing brush. If you are looking for brushes as a beginner, I really love the e.l.f. brushes. Eco Tools has a lot of great brushes that are nice and they're affordable. I also really like the Ulta brushes, and they also go on buy one, get one half off very frequently. So those are great. I love Real Techniques. I love Morphe. Those are all really great. And if you're just starting out, brands like Morphe and Real Techniques will have brush sets that you can buy, so you can get like 5 at a time that are perfect for just a simple base. We'll get more into that later on. Like I said, I just have this one buffing brush, and that's all you really need for this look in particular. After that is all nice and blended in, I'm going to use this Revolution Beauty Balm in the shade Sunkissed as a cream bronzer, and I just again go in with that same exact brush, do a little bit on the temples and the top of the forehead, and I also go in the cheekbone where that shadow naturally is, and anywhere that the sun would naturally hit and give you a little bit of a tan. That's where I like to put this product. And then because I'm just using one brush, I do like to wipe it off in between. So I just have a white washcloth that I use, and I'll just wipe it off in between products. And now I'm going in with this Pixie On The Glow blush. This is a very amazing blush stick. This went viral on TikTok a long time ago, all for good reasons. I'm using this nice pinky shade, but they also have a berry shade, a really nice red shade, and an orangey coral shade. I also have that orangey coral, and it's very pretty. I'm just feeling the pink these days. I'm just going to tap that in a little bit. These are super quick and easy to blend and just nice and glowy and fun. And if you want to add even more glow, I love this Watermelon Dew Stick from e.l.f. Look at that pearly glow. It is like a wet skin look. I prefer to use my finger with it just like this because you need a very small amount. I love that extra glow right on the top of the cheekbones, but this whole look is very glowy, so if you want to just skip that, no big deal. And this is where it's a little bit extra for this in particular. I am using a clear like dip brow gel from e.l.f. and this separate brush, but if you are super duper beginner and this looks a little bit too complicated for you, there are tons of clear brow gels out there that come with the spoolie. e.l.f. came out with that new one that is really cool, and I can't wait to try that. It's all in one. It's like the brush and brow gel all in one. Elf has a great one. Got2b has a good one as well. But if you're going to go this route, I just like to brush that clear brow gel through my brows. And then I use the flat side of this double-ended brush to just flatten them out and give a little bit of a more feathered look. You might think that you want to skip this, but trust me, taming the brows and brushing them up and out really does make you look a little bit more put together and makes your eyes look more open and awake. And same for this mascara. I'm going to use the CoverGirl Cleantopia mascara in the shade brown. Just give myself one solid coat on the top. I love this mascara. I don't even have to bother curling my lashes, and just look how much more awake that eye already looks just by doing the brows and putting one coat of mascara on. It just really wakes you up, makes you look a little bit more perky and awake and alive and just ready to tackle the day. And after the mascara is all said and done, I'm just going to go in with a tinted lip balm. This is another product where there are tons out there on the market. CoverGirl, Elf, NYX, there's lip oils, there's lip pens, there's lip stains. Pick your poison. I have so many and I love them so much. I love them all so much. I'm currently using this one from Thrive. It is so nice. I just love the color of it. It's perfect for my skin tone. And I just cannot help myself. I have to top it off with an Elf lip oil. I'm absolutely obsessed with these. I have 4 of them in different colors. I had to get the new Jelly Pop watermelon one, so I love to use this on a no makeup day, or when I'm doing this nice simple glowy look. I love to use this one. It's just so pretty, and that is this first kind of beginner, like super beginner level 0 starter pack for makeup. It's just a nice glowy look. Perfect if you just want to look a little bit more put together, a little bit more awake, alive, all of those good things. And now we are going to get into the second beginner look. So for this look, we are going to start with a primer. I am loving the e.l.f. Gripping Primer. If you have oilier skin, I love the NYX Marshmallow Primer. It's very good. I'm a little bit more on the dry side, and I love that tackiness the gripping primers give. So I'm going to just take 2 or 3 pumps of this and rub it all over the face. And then I'm going to spray my face down with a setting spray and let this dry fully before you go in with foundation, or the foundation is going to slip right off. But if you let it fully dry, this is going to give you a perfectly tacky base that will have your makeup lasting all day. After letting that dry down and get really nice and tacky, I'm going to go in with a coverage product, and in lieu of foundation, since we are beginners, I'm going to use a tinted moisturizer. This is the Wet n Wild Tinted Beauty Balm. I'm going to use 2 pea size amounts all over the face. Just keep in mind that you can always add more product if you want more coverage, but it is hard to take it away once it's on. So just start with less than you think you actually need and build it from there. I prefer to use a sponge like I'm using right now, but you can also use a buffing brush. That is completely up to you, totally just your preference. So I'm just going to bounce this all into the skin until it is fully blended in. Then for a teensy bit more coverage, especially around the eyes, and I'm also going to hit the chin and right between my eyebrows, I get a little bit of extra redness. I'm going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. This is my favorite concealer of all time. It is perfect in my opinion. Out of all of the concealers I've ever used, high-end or drugstore, this is my favorite, and I'm constantly repurchasing it. It is such a nice buildable coverage. It lasts forever. It blends in seamlessly. I just love it so much. So I'm just going to again blend this in with the Beauty Blender, and then we are going to lightly set the rest of the face, or the entire face, with a powder foundation. This one is from Essence. It's the 16-hour powder foundation, and we're just going to go in really lightly with this, nothing too heavy. If you really wanted to use this as like a full foundation, you could pack it on with more of a dense brush, but because I'm just using it to set and just keep that coverage there, I just use a nice big soft fluffy brush. This one's from Morphe, and I go and powder the whole face very, very lightly. I have so many multitasking palettes. If y'all follow me for a while, you know I almost have a problem buying too many because I'm obsessed with them. So I'm gonna do an entire separate video on all of my favorite multitasking face palettes. But the two that I would definitely recommend for beginners would be the Physicians Formula Dream Team Butter Palette and the Tarte Clay Play 2 palette. They're just slightly different, but I think they're both good in their own way for beginners. So as you can see, this one has 2 blushes, a bronzer, a contour, a highlight, and a face powder. So I did just use a different face powder, but if you get this, you could skip that or just have both. They're both drugstore inexpensive. Essence is definitely really inexpensive. This is so great to give you options for blush and bronzer and contour, and you can also of course use these on the eyes as well as the highlight on the eyes and like brighten up the inner corner with just this little white shade. I do that all the time. I've used this in so many videos before and shown you guys how I like to use this. I will actually link one of those videos right here. This is a great, versatile, wonderful palette. I think it's about $15 and you get 6 products. So then if this isn't your speed and you want something with a little bit more oomph and you want eyeshadow, specifically eyeshadow, this is where the Tarte Clay Play 2 palette comes in. It just has 1 blush, bronzer, and highlight, but it has all of these eyeshadows. You get 9 eyeshadows in this baby, and it goes, I'd say, from light to like a medium depth. Like this is the darkest shade, and of course you can use the bronzer on your eyes as well. I love this palette, and I can't remember the last time I've used this in a video, so I'm going to use it now and show you guys. I love how versatile this is, but it is very beginner friendly, and it has a mirror as well. So if you're not sitting in front of a big vanity mirror like me and you just have maybe a bathroom mirror, this would give you something up close that you can hold up to yourself and maybe help you out a little bit. So we're going to use the Tarte Clay Play 2 palette, and I'm just going to start by bronzing up the face. My preference has always been doing my bronzer first, then highlight, and then blush. I feel like it just blends seamlessly and kind of blends things for you if you do it in that order, but that is totally up to you, your preference. I'm just starting with the bronzer in this Tarte Clay Play 2 palette, and I'm going to bronze up the forehead, on the sides of the forehead, and just a little bit at the middle, on the temples and the cheekbones, and I also hit a little bit on the nose and under the jawline, just a little tiny bit. I'm not going to be fully contouring or anything like that, but you do want to add a little bit of color into your face. The whole thing with this part of the makeup, a lot of people ask, why would you use foundation and all of that and blank everything out just to put the color back on? And it's really just about having the color in all the right places. So wherever you want the bronzer, that is a great place to put it. So if you only want it on your cheeks and not on your forehead, that's totally up to you. Just play around with makeup, and just remember, if you are a total beginner, it washes off. It's going to be fine. You can wash it off. You can start over. You can keep practicing. You can keep doing different things every single day until you figure out what you like on your face shape. So it's totally up to you, and that's honestly my favorite part about makeup. So then I just hit that the concealer, the highlight from that palette on the top of the cheekbones and the bridge of the nose, and then I like to put blush like I'm putting right now. I put it kind of on the temple and all down my cheekbone, right between that bronzer and highlight, and of course it blushes you up, but it also just blends everything right together, so you don't have this stark line between the bronzer and the highlight. You just have this nice blended merriment of the blush and the bronzer. So now moving on to the eyes, I'm using this very light matte cream color and I'm putting that on the inner corner. I tend to get a lot of darkness and shadow in here, so I definitely like to make sure that's nice and brightened up, and then I kind of drag that onto the lid just to make sure everything is kind of primed and ready to go for the other eyeshadows. And I'm going to use this kind of medium tone mauve color here and just using windshield wiper motions and small circles. I'm going to start blending this into the crease and also put it on the lid a little bit, kind of just in the outer corner. Now, here's where the beginners are going to be like, I don't know, but trust me, you don't have to go as low as I do, but you want to put a little bit of something under your eyes. Otherwise, your eyes are going to look really, really small, okay? So I'll show you like side by side. I'm just going to take that same color and just a little bit, just dust it under there a teensy bit. And like I've done this a million times, so obviously if you're a total beginner, you're probably gonna be like up in the mirror trying to do this, which is why this mirror comes in so handy. Look at the difference. Can you tell? Look how much bigger and wider, more awake this eye looks compared to this one. It feels kind of foreign at first, but trust me. Once that is all blended to my liking, I'm just going to use my finger and this kind of gold shade right here and put that on the lid. And if you're a total beginner, just keep in mind there's nothing wrong with using your fingers and your hands. When I was first starting out with makeup, I would literally rub my foundation in with my hands. I had one powder brush for my whole face, for face powder, for bronzer, blush, highlight, for everything. I just had to wipe it off in between. And I had one eyeshadow brush. So if you don't have every single brush in the whole world, it's gonna be okay. You'll still be able to get a very nice, pretty, everyday look out of your makeup. So then I'm just taking this small brush in a shimmery color, the highlight actually that I used on my face earlier, and I'm just putting that on the very, very inner corner to give me a little sparkle in there. And then I am going to use a fiber brow gel. This is from Essence. I have mine in the shade brown, of course, because I have brown hair. I prefer to do a brow gel first because it kind of fills in what you already have with a little bit of color, and then you can go in with the pencil and fill in where you for sure are missing hairs. The eyebrows is definitely a place where you don't want to overdo it. So I just put on that brow gel, and while it dries a little bit, I curl my lashes and use the Essence Lash Princess mascara. And I'm going to give this one good coat and then let it dry and go back to the eyebrows. I know that's kind of all over the place, maybe if you're like a total beginner, but I just like to do one thing and let it dry a little bit and then move on to the next thing, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to do one coat on the top, let that dry a little bit before I put a second coat, and while it's drying down, I'm going to move on back to my brows. So as you can see, after I give them a little bit of color with that brow gel, that the main area that I'm missing hair is the tail end of my brow. So I'm just going to take this angled brow pencil from Wet n Wild, and I'm going to really, really lightly and carefully fill in just the tail of my brow. And then I flip it to the other side where it has a spoolie, just to blend things out and make sure that it's not too harsh or too chunky and blocky. I kind of do that on both sides, and I step back and I look in the mirror and kind of look at them and make sure that they're looking even-ish, as even as I possibly can. I have never been, a brow connoisseur, definitely not anyone that anybody is asking for a eyebrow routine, this is just what I do to make sure that they are filled in and they look nice. And filling in your eyebrows can be really important because it really frames your eyes and your face. So as you can see, I'm only going in on the front here really lightly on one brow because I'm trying to make them as even as possible. And just do your best. Again, takes a lot of practice, and makeup just washes off. So if it's really that bad, you can just take it off and start over. So once the brows are done, I'm going in with a second coat of mascara on my top lashes, and then I just like to do one coat of mascara on the bottom. Kind of the same thing with the eyeshadow. You don't look weird with eyeshadow mascara under your eye. You're just not used to it. It definitely opens up your eye more and makes you look more awake and just more vibrant, and makes your eyes look bigger and not so small and tired if you put some color and some mascara down there. And then of course, I'm obsessed with these e.l.f. lip oils. I have this one in the Rose Envy shade. Absolutely gorgeous. You can see it just adds the perfect amount of color and shine to my lips. And that is this look totally complete. I forgot to film myself using setting spray, but you can use that same setting spray that we used in the beginning at the very end to seal everything in, and you're good to go. So that is a nice beginner look, 2 different ways. I hope you guys found this nice and helpful. If you did, let me know down below. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll try to explain it to you the best that I can. And if you want to see more videos, you can always subscribe and follow me on my Instagram, my TikTok, and my other YouTube channel if you want to follow me everywhere. And I'll see you guys in another video very soon. Bye.